Is that right? And as a Buddhist monk, if we just live like that, and if I can't do anything to pay tribute, pay gratitude towards our Buddha, our teachers, and all the supporters, then that can't be a monk. That can't be me. I'm talking about me, that can't be me, because I cannot just receive without giving. And I don't want our future generation to keep going down instead of going up, moving forward. And of course, the future generation also has me in it, because we still in this samsara, right? And so from there I told myself that I would have to do something to support the Buddha Sasana. And there, day after day, months after month, and I went to India, and I saw the Bodh Gaya, the Bodhi tree, and I cried. That's the first time I came to India. I cried so much. And then I kneeled down in front of the Bodhi tree. I made a vow. I will make a vow to do something to support the Buddha Sasana by building something or doing something. And then from there I see in my mind, when I close my eyes, I see some spears like the Stupas, silently 7 years making that vow. Everything I do, I support my vow by making a wish for my vow to become true. And then I went to Myanmar 2018. My teacher, he saw me do all the work at the temple. My life at the temple back then, just work, work, and work. I do landscaping, I do building, I do a lot of things. Back then, I didn't know any of that. I know how to type, but I don't know how to build temple. I don't know how to do landscaping and things like that. But after I ordained to become a monk, I learned how to build the building, the house. I learned how to make a road. I learned how to do landscaping and things like that. So that was my life after ordained, trying to take care of the temple, for people to come and to practice, for my teachers to have more time to teach. So I take care of everything. And then he saw me working every day. And he said, go ahead and go study. Go to Myanmar. And then he sent me off to Myanmar to study. He said, I'll let you go for 5 to 7 years, then come back. I said, oh, that's so good. And then I went to Myanmar. I stayed at the Paññākāra Seraji and practiced with him for 2 years. He called me back. He called me back after 2 years during the pandemic. And then he called me back is because of the land got conflict. The land right behind our temple got conflict with the charter school. That time he went to the Atmos Energy to talk with them, and then to buy that land, 14 acres. They signed the contract with us, but somehow they backed off, and then they signed the contract to sell it to the Ideal Charter School. After the temple and my teachers and everyone trying to work it out with them, they would not listen. And then he called me back because I used to work with the government and things like that. So he called me back to take care of that. Because building the school right there, the land around it belongs to the temple. 800 cars every day. Our monastery cannot do anything, cannot practice because a lot of kids. And so he asked me to come back to take care of it. I took 1 year straight to work with the school, work with different faith, different religions, work with the city, work with the state representative and all that. 1 year straight, I'd be able to buy back that land from the Ideal Charter School. And then we purchase it back from the school. It's higher than the original price when we buy it with the energy company. But we have to buy it. And then after I bought that land back for the temple and I knew in front of him, I expressed my vow as a teacher, my respected teachers. I have made this vow silently for 7 years, and now I think this is the time, this is the right time for me to express my vow. And I expressed my vow to him that that is what I want to do, to build the Dhammacetiya project, to preserve the Buddha Dhamma, and to propagate the Buddha Sasana all over the West and over the world. And he said, I will support you. And he was so grateful for my vow, and then he supported me right away. Then from there, that vow get to express to all the people in Texas. And I get to express my vow to all the Sangha, different countries, and ask for support and allow me to give permission for me to do that. Then from there to now, from the first time I made a vow until now is almost 12 years now. Almost 12 years. And that is how and where the Dhammacetiya started, with my vow. And you know why I stick with that vow? Because I know that will bring a lot of benefits to many beings. Not just this generation, but all the future generations to come. And for a reason, I want it to last for 1,000 years. That is why I use all stone material instead of brick or concrete. That is why it's a stone project. And so it's been almost 7 years, about 4 years now, that I work with architects. I work with stone contractors. Do you know how much they charge for that architect design? For that whole project? It's 5 million USD for the designing. But we are very grateful because there's an architecturing firm in Vietnam. I have a whole team in Vietnam who are willing to support this project for free. So they've been designing it in Vietnam. But of course, in Texas, we have to hire an engineer and architect to stand behind it. In Vietnam, when they finish, they send it off to Texas. They have to check and then revise it to make it based up to code. So the cost will be much less, but still better than 5 million. Right? And so it's been a while that earlier this year, me and my teachers and team went to India for a meeting with the stone. The stone that we are using is from Makarana marble from India, Jaipur, Rajasthan. That is the marble where they used to build the Taj Mahal. That's the type of marble that we are using because it's old enough to stand the weather. At first, I wanted to use Burmese marble. And then after went to Myanmar several times and tried to connect, and those people who willing to connect, after I came back to USA, then we are disconnect because every time when I ask, they're busy. For that reason, I decided to use the marble in India. And so we finally get the architects in India to finalize the main jetty, about 45 meter by 63 meter by 175 feet tall. That is the main jetty that we will build next year. That is the main jetty that I want to start next year. Even though we don't have enough budget for that, but we will start regardless. And if we be able to finish the foundation, that's also good, because we don't want to wait. The reason why I want to do this faster is because seniors, my mom, my dad, and so many seniors who came to me and offered for this project with happiness. But at the end, after they offered, they cried. And I asked, why are you crying? They say, I know that this is a rare chance in my life that I'd be able to be part of this project to support the Buddha Sasana. But I'm pretty sure that I cannot live until you finish this project. So I feel sad. That is why I wanted to do faster. Even though that is what my wish is for, but then it all depends on the funding. And for that reason, this project costs about 200 million. For that reason, I made a vow that within this lifetime, if I lack of merit and parami, I cannot finish it, then I will reborn again and again and again to continue building it until I get it complete. That was my vow, in front of the Mahasangha, right on the heart of that land where we will be building. And so, Sayadaw, Tibitakat Sayadaw, I have to tell you this. Since the day that I expressed my vow to the public, after my teacher, Sayadaw was the first respected Sayadaw in the Sangha who wholeheartedly support my project. At the beginning, when he came to our temple and he said, I would try to offer one stupa, the small stupa. Then I don't know how and why, but he raised it from 1 to 3, and then to 5, and then to 10. And earlier this year, when the Tipitaka chanting at our monastery, he said 19 stupa. And then he worked really hard here, trying to get us here this day for the offering of 10 more stupas. This is beyond what I expect. You know, I listened to the teachings of a lot of Sayadaw saying that talk about Burmese community, about all those jetty in Myanmar, built by all the heart of the people of Myanmar, because they work. You know, sometime when I studied in Myanmar, I saw the worker come to work to build a kuti for me at the Paññākāra. They come to work for a couple of hours, they go home, rest for a week, and they come back to do a couple more hours. I would ask myself, what are they doing when I'm gonna have my kuti? And so after listening to the sharing of other teachers saying that they work like that, they just enjoy life. They don't need a lot of money. But when they have money, this is where they're gonna go. It goes to the temple, make it merit. Is that true? A lot of Myanmar people doing this. And I listen to that all the time. And this became real right here, right now. To offer almost 30 small stupas, 75,000 each stupa, within a very short period of time, 2 months, right, Shadow? 2 months, 3 months. This is beyond what we can think, right? And that is how much you love the Buddha Sasana, how much you love our Buddha. That is how much you love the Venerable monks and how much you love to support the mission of propagating the Buddha Sasana. So, to say thank you or paying gratitude, appreciation to most Venerable Sayadaws and all of you is not enough. What I can do is try my best, even if I have to sacrifice my life. I will continue in making it happen. I'm okay to sacrifice my life for the completion of this project. And so, when you offer to this project, please remember one thing. You are not supporting the project of Venerable Bhikkhu Paññākāra or the Hundao Vipassana Bhavana Center in Texas. You are supporting